Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Spiritual Successor, a comedy video game design podcast where we take your games from all over the internet and turn them into horrible, nasty, trashy, stinky, god-awful, mistakes against God, damn near criminal video games. I'm one of your hosts, AJ Hart.
And I am your other host, Blake Rea. Welcome! This week, I don't know what the fuck is going on, because I'll be real with you. I'll be real with you, AJ. You and I, we woke up and we were like, all right, we want to fucking hit the day strong. You and I,
and we did two Let's Play
video games. You and me,
first thing in the morning. But like, here's something that I don't think I realized is like we did all of our Let's Play recordings, and now it's after the Let's Play recordings, and I'm like, damn, I still got to be on for another hour.
Dude, you know what's so fucking like. I'm
tired of making content. This will be my third hour of content today. More of it? Still we have to keep going?
Third fucking, wow, complaining about content creators. All right, so you and I, this is a fucking horrible opening bit. I want to talk about something really fucking positive, and I'm sure you're going to piggyback on this. I have been going through Alan Wake Remastered, and holy shit, dude.
Why would I pick up on that with you? I've never played Alan Wake.
Because we're talking about playing video games, AJ. I was giving you a little window of like, hey, I'm going to mention Alan Wake.
See, I do like video games.
And then you're going to mention Encryption, because I know you're playing the shit out of that, or Inscription.
Inscription.
I don't know what the fuck's going on with that.
Here's the incredible thing about me coming to this podcast saying that I've played Inscription and that I have not beaten it yet, is that is legally all I am allowed to talk about with this game.
What do you mean you can't? Oh, that's great. What happens to the game?
I cannot talk about this game without spoiling where it goes.
Okay.
It is a very, very cool and fun game, and it's a deck building game. It's a roguelike deck building card game.
Okay.
And so when you play this game, what it is you're sitting at a table in front of like this shadowy beast who has glowing eyes.
Oh, fuck
But you can't see the person that you're playing the card game against. But as you go through the game, he'll set up little prompts in front of you, and he'll put pieces on the table. And then at any time during this card game, you can go ahead and stand up from the table and walk around a cabin that he has locked you in.
Oh, fuck. That's cool as hell,
so
dude. That's my vibe as fuck.
That is where the game starts really going crazy.
That's me. That's the shit I love.
There's a couple cards that as you play through, you'll get pretty early on, you get a little stoat card. And it's a little rat-looking stoat. It's a stoat. It's a stoat-ass stoat. You know what a stoat is.
No, I don't know what a
stoat was before I played this game.
What is a stoat?
We all know what a stoat is. And so it talks to you, and eventually it starts giving you hints about things that you should check out around the, around the cabin. It's very charming and very cool, and like kind of playing that game, which the card building game itself is a very fun game. But then the push and pull of you constantly having to get up and explore the cabin, it just adds something to it that's really charming. And the way that game goes after that initial conceit is incredible. And I'm having an absolute joy with it.
God, speaking of like just fun mystery shit, I'm so happy you're having fun with that, because I'm also having fun with Alan Wake, which is also a mystery game, and I super recommend playing it if you've never touched it. But the thing I wanted to mention with that, because I know I don't want, it sounds like I don't want to fucking spoil any more of Inscription, because I'm super down to check that out, because it sounds
please pick it up. Like, I want you to have played it by next time we record.
Okay, I can do that. I can pull that off. But the reason I wanted to talk about Alan Wake is I have experienced something I don't think I can say about anything else in my life, and this is why it's my favorite video game of all time. It is not the best video game. Like, it is not the best. Well, no, in the sense of like, okay, there are games that have better stories. Like, I think Last of Us is a prime example of a game with just a really tight, really well executed story. But Last of Us doesn't have a really good gameplay. I look at Alan Wake and it's like the gameplay's fun and but the story's it's cheesy. It's a cheesy fucking story that shouldn't work, but it does. But the reason I think it's my favorite game of all time is I can basically hone in on all of like this is the seed of all of my core interests as like a person. Like horror, small towns, lighthouses, Stephen King, Roy Orbison, Nick Cave, a love of writing, all of it fucking stems from this video game. And it was
Alan Wake is just fantasy Stephen King, right?
Yeah, the game opens up with him like talking about a Stephen King quote. Yeah, it is very, very, very much based on Stephen King, and he's my jam. He's my favorite author. It is my favorite book of all time. But it's just so weird to. It's like opening up a time capsule in a way, where it's like I played Alan Wake the first time. I've only ever played it like twice in my life. I played it before now. I've played it when it first came out, when I was like maybe like 14, 13, something, where I was like edgy and fucking like, darkness is cool, man. My username was Shadow on all my social media platforms.
Now, was it named Shadow because that was edgy, or was it named Shadow after Shadow the Hedgehog? Please be honest.
No, fuck Shadow the Hedgehog. He's not edgy enough. Shadow the Hedgehog is not cool enough for me. I'll say it. And then I played it then, and then I played it like at the beginning of college, or like in the middle of college, and now I'm playing it like post-college. I'm an adult, like I have responsibilities, I have like just fucking dreams and hopes and all this shit.
I love games like that.
And it's so fucking cool to experience something at different phases in my life and get completely new things from it each time. But it's also cool to see, like, I guess one thing that's like, and maybe this is a little bit too heavy at the top of the episode, but like one of the things that fucking like speaks to me in terms of stories is like I have fear of change, I think, and I think everybody has like a fear of change. So it's like there are things I think I gravitate to in my life that are like that give me comfort because it's something I know I'm always going to love. Like I always love movies, I always love film, I always love horror, I always love reading, I know, and I always love making shit. But like everything else, it's fucking, you know, like relationships with people, that shit's constantly changing. My relationship with the world around me, constantly fucking changing. So it's kind of cool to have played Alan Wake at such critical points in my life, and things about it I have loved consistently in each phase of my life where I feel like I was a completely different human being.
I know exactly what you mean, because I've had a similar experience with Kingdom Hearts 2, actually.
Oh,
like,
what about it?
I remember playing that game for the first time with my cousin in like middle school or something when it first came out. Mm-hmm. I remember playing it for the first time when I was almost graduating high school. Just on a weekend, me and a couple friends sat down with a PlayStation 2 and burned through it all. Mm-hmm. And then I played it again when I was just about leaving college as a run-up to Kingdom Hearts 3. And Kingdom Hearts 2 specifically, what I love about it's the first couple chapter hours of that game that I think really hit me in different ways at different points in my life. Mm-hmm. Because it's a story about a boy realizing that, well, he's like, oh no, the world around me is really fake. Mm-hmm. But he's also coming to terms with the idea of like this perfect time in his life is over. Mm-hmm. And the way that I kind of see that at different points in my life is really interesting, because like when you're a kid and you see that, you're like, I can't wait to be done with this Roxas character so I can go back to the rest of the game. And then when it's your in high school, when I was almost graduating, it was this level of like, oh, I'm leaving this time in my life just like this kid is, and I'm going to go on to become somebody else that I don't know. Mm-hmm. And then again, playing it when I was an adult, it has a different angle, because it's kind of looking back on that semblance of like being a child and understanding that the real world's coming at you hard and fast, and there's nothing you can do about it. Mm-hmm. I love the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2, and it's a similar energy of like, because it is a thing that you go back to multiple times in your life and your perspective has changed, what you bring to it changes the message of the game itself.
I wonder why we have that relationship with certain games versus like other games. Like there are other games there, like for example, I just played Toy Soldiers, like this tower defense game that I played when I was a kid, and I've always thought about it, and I've always been like, man, what if I pick that game up again? What if I pick that game up again? And it's like, and here I am, like basically like 10 years later, and I picked it up, and it's just like, and I still love that game. It's still fucking great. But I don't have that. I mean, of course, it's not like a game that has any themes.
Yeah, it
to
could just be that the game isn't asking that. The game isn't asking you to trigger that part of your brain. Like, I've played Devil May Cry 4 3 times, and I've played Bayonetta 1 also 3 times. at different points in my life. But whenever I play those games, all I'm thinking is fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah, hype.
Like it's not gonna, but those games aren't asking me to think big questions. And but it is really cool going back to a game that wants you to think about those things at different times in your life and seeing what your answers are to those questions.
Yeah, no, and I thought it was like, I just wanted to bring that up because it's just like, because this is like, I know we do a jokey joke, fucking crazy podcast and stuff like that, but sometimes video games are like, really meaningful and just like a very introspective.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb here and propose something that I don't think anybody's really talked about yet. Hold on, there's a train coming through, so I'm closing my window. Blake,
yeah,
I'll get back to the train. Video games are art, actually. Did you think about that before? I just think that's a wild proposition.
No. Boomers say it can't be art. Boomers say video games are a problem, so I have to think they're a problem, AJ. They can't possibly be art.
Hey, with the ringing of my train, I think I can finally announce, Blake, we've hit our train arc, which I think is important for us.
Oh, it's Mugen train? It's Suck train?
It's not even like a Mugen train. I just think it's important that every podcast goes through an arc where like one of their hosts is near a train. I can't really explain to you why or when it's important.
Thing? Is that a thing that happens?
It feels common enough in my life to know that it's a thing that happens. And so I'm going to say that it's a rule. And I think that all podcasts, if you want to take them seriously, they have to go through a train arc. They have to, some host needs to move, a recording setup needs to change, and they need to be putting themselves near a train so that a train can be heard on recording. I'm so excited to bring you, Blake Ray, a 2-hour train arc.
Is that implying that the Bentley arc is over and he'll stop squawking in the background?
No, tragically, Bentley is part of the whole thing, and I don't think there's anything we can do about that.
Nope. All right. Speaking of things we can't do anything about, game submissions. You and I got to crack some games. I will give you the first one. This one comes to us from Turkey Month.
Holy shit, it's November!
At Dust in Your Eyes. Hell yeah, it's November. We're going to get some pumpkin pie, and we're going to fucking celebrate our families and hanging out with our people. I think it's going to be a good time. This one comes to us at Dust in Your Eyes. Count Vacula, the blood-sucking vacuum cleaner. Okay. Cleaning games are becoming bigger and bigger. We just had, like, I know Markiplier just did, like, a big, like, series on spray wash or something like that.
Yeah, he just did a pressure washer simulator game.
Yeah.
There's that one game, Unpacking, which isn't really it's kind of a cleaning game because you have to make a big mess and then put everything away.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, what is a way we can combine a cleaning game with something, because it's a vacuum cleaner. Actually, okay, we need to discuss. We need to discuss
the vacuum. Is the vacuum cleaner, is Vacula a real Dracula that is a vacuum, or is this a Banicula situation where it's not really a threat, but we are going to try to smack it with a big piece of meat because it's a steak pun?
Is that what happens to Banicula? I thought Banicula was bad. I thought Banicula tore people's throats out.
No. The cat and the dog are just paranoid, and there's one there's one book that I remember the cat smacking the rabbit with a big T-bone steak because he was trying to hit him with a steak and kill him. It did not work. Banicula simply drained the color out of that steak.
Cute. Okay, that's pretty cute.
Is it a Dracula that wants blood or a Dracula that just wants the color, like Marceline, the vampire queen?
I'm wondering if this is a situation where it's like you are committing murders as a vacuum and then cleaning up after your murders. So it's like is it like a hitman?
So from the waist up, you're Dracula. From the waist down, you're Mr. Kirby.
I was thinking it's just a vampire with fangs. Sorry, I'm just picturing it's a vacuum with fangs.
Okay.
It's just like a little like a shop vac that's been fucking. It sits the.
It's a DJ Roomba.
No, because I've seen Roomba like killer game. There's like one game. It's a Roomba.
You've seen a killer Roomba game?
Yeah.
Already?
No, there's this game. I forget what it's. I think it's just called Roomba, where you are a Roomba that is defending your house. It can't
just be called Roomba. That's copyright infringement.
I think okay, so the plot of that Roomba game is that
unless it's parody.
It's Roombo First Blood. So basically it's a Roomba that is defending
Roombo First Blood. Yeah.
It's pretty cute. It's a pretty cute game to watch. But what it is your house is being invaded by like like
Burglars.
and you have to like you be a Roomba that can tap into the security system of the house and fucking defend the house and kill these people. I don't.
So you're gonna do something like that, except you are able to use the powers of vampire.
I want to try and make it our own. So it's like, are we a vacuum that is trying, not necessarily defending the house, but trying to like fucking kill everybody in the house or in the castle?
Vacuum breaking into the home.
Yeah.
Okay. What sort of cool vacuum powers would you have that would let you into a home?
Okay.
I like the idea that you could go into a room and suck all the air out and like vacuum seal the room and crush it in on itself like one of those vacuum bags.
It sucks all the candles out, so it goes dark for a minute. So you can.
Ooh, that's good.
Oh, okay.
And then if it's dark, you can explode into bats.
You can explode into bats. I feel like
which is the coolest power that a Dracula can have.
Really? I think like.
I think that vampires exploding into bats is one of the most underutilized like vampire icons,
because
and I think it's a very fun one.
Because it can come off so fucking cheesy.
The fact that it's cheesy is what makes it good.
No, like if you want to be in fucking, I think the most intimidating thing I've seen a vampire do is where their teeth just keep growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing to where they're like unusably big. So I'm trying to remember what fucking, it was some dumb cheesy like 1980s vampire flick that did that, and I remember seeing it because my dad rented it from Blockbuster forever ago, as all terrible movies have been. So I'm wondering if like, okay, so
do you remember when Blockbuster would have all the bad rip-off movies? Redbox did this too. Like when Transformers came out, like the following year, some movie called Terraformers came out, and it was just like bad Transformers.
Wait, Terraformers,
or maybe it was Transmorphers.
Yeah, Transmorphers. I remember that. Terraformers was a manga anime series about bug people and then humans injecting themselves with like bug blood to become like super powered and shit. It's wild. It's fucking good though. It's pretty bitchin'. So okay, so you as a vacuum, why are you just, is this like a Hitman style sandbox game where you are trying to kill everybody in the fucking party? Or, okay, but that also brings up an interesting thing of, is this a game where you kill humans or you kill other electronics? Because like, because I don't think we've tapped into like a vampire.
Okay, so you're proposing a Brave Little Toaster vampire.
Yeah, but you
murderer.
you fucking sneak up on the Brave Little Toaster and you suck his soul out. I want it to be like,
I'm into this. I want it to be fucking terrifying. So it is a puzzler where you are trying to not be caught by the humans that will find out that you're Dracula and worse, a vacuum.
Wait, AJ, hold on. Why don't we fucking...
I'm onto something. Yeah, I know, because here's the thing about... It's like a new cool vacuum, and if there's one thing I know about vacuums, it is that people that are older than me fucking hate good vacuums that work. Because I think that everybody I talk to, their parents will be like, yeah, my parents have an old vacuum that's older than me, and they swear it's good, and they won't get rid of it. My parents did that. But it has no
sucking ability. Yeah, no,
my
parents
roommate's
have that.
Parents did that. Your parents have that. Yeah. It's a universal constant. It's like how the generation before us puts bread in the freezer. I don't get it. It's stupid and bad, but they do it. If there's one thing I know about the generation before us, it's that they all have busted, shitty vacuums, and they all put bread in the freezer.
Okay, so okay. Here's the thing, though. So we got to think of this as like, what is the level-to-level bullshit? Is this that for some reason, so you have this family that refuses to get rid of this fucking vacuum. They, at the opening level, is they bring the vacuum home, and that night, the vacuum comes to life, and you go through and you wreak havoc on all of the appliances you can get your hands on.
You are the old vacuum. You are the old, busted, bad vacuum.
Yes.
You come to life, you destroy other electronics so that you can continue living. Mm-hmm. You don't gain power from it, you're just living.
Yeah.
And continue to stay alive.
Yeah.
And waste space and not clean up.
But you have to vacuum up the mess that you made before the the night runs out. So I think this is like
you clean that one
Yes.
singular mess.
And then it went during the day, and I wonder it'd be funny if there's like little cutscenes at the like during the day of like people trying to show, like you cut to like the dad trying to vacuum up the living room, but for some reason it just doesn't fucking work. And then you see them kind of like, then you see them kind of discover, oh my fucking god, AJ, what if this game fucking goes crazy? So like the opening level is you killing all of like the appliances or whatever. The next day the family wakes up, all their appliances are gone, but the vacuum is the only thing left. They think they've been robbed because nobody would touch like this old ass vacuum that they got.
They were robbed.
Yeah. So and then they were like, all right, let's use this as an excuse. Let's go get a bunch of appliances. The second night is you hunting down all of the brand new appliances that are in the house. And then the following day, it's like, okay, something fucking weird's going on. But there's like a little mess in the
new appliances, and then they get a security system.
Yes.
And now the game is the push and pull of you needing to like sneakily get rid of one item per night.
Oh, one item? I was thinking all of them because you...
I think that you do all of them in the first 2 nights as our tutorial. That will teach us all of our cool vacuum and vampire powers. And then after that, you have to start thinking about the actual tactics of how you're going to do this without being caught. And so we'll bring down how much appliances you need to destroy.
Is there some world? Because, like, I guess I'm thinking of what's my first image, what's my last image of this story. First image of this story is like this vacuum, basically the door of the closet swinging open like it's a coffin, and then this vacuum with a fucking Dracula cape and glowing red eyes above its little fan, like the little spinny part on its face, and it comes out of the closet. My last image is I want this game to fucking just the house or the people in the neighborhood discover the secret of this vacuum, and the last level is you going through and just murdering. Like you go through, you find
all the people,
and that's the end of the game.
Okay, there's a game that's like this.
Okay, what's the game?
Kind of. It's a game called, I think it's called Lucius or Lucifer or something like that. Essentially what it is it's a third-person little puzzler game where you play as a toddler. And you run around in a big mansion. And then as the game progresses, you start to realize, I have psychic powers, and I'm going to do pranks.
Oh, shit.
And then you start to realize that your cool psychic powers don't work if there's crosses in the room. So then you got to use your telekinesis to make sure that the crosses are all turned upside down. And then you can use your cool psychic powers to do funny pranks. Eventually, you decide that you're done with pranks, and then you're going to start murdering people. And the final thing of the game is you burn down the entire house and walk away as a little toddler. Because I guess you were the son of Satan?
Okay.
It's a weird game.
Okay, but we can... we can lean...
But we can use this as our blueprint.
We can lean into this. So I'm wondering... Okay, let's fucking... I'm really jazzed about this now. So the first couple of nights is you doing the appliances. The third night they get a security system. Maybe that's when this vampire vacuum gets the first taste of blood. Like they've come across the dad, and then they have to like kill the dad because they got caught or something like that. And they're like, well, I guess I got to clean this up. And as they're like, vrooming
up the body,
as
and then
they're
the
slurping
vacuum's
up
like,
the
oh,
body.
wait up, is this human power?
Yes,
maybe.
That's the thing that happens is when they take their first blood of human, like drink of human, that's when they start getting new powers. So that's when both the difficulty of the environment gets crazier, but also your abilities to traverse the environment as this fucking vampire vacuum increase. So like the first time you slurp up some human blood, now you can transform into to mist. Like you can turn into blood mist that can float by security cameras or doesn't pick up on motion sensors. How about that?
Maybe we start with something simple, like you can shoot out a burst of wind and knock the candles out, the candlelight.
That's a good.
And then it's dark, and then you can creep around in the darkness.
Or maybe it's just like something like a little EMP. That way, it's like that something like that. Because I'm trying to think of what can be used against like. The security cameras, motion sensors, stuff like that, you can like let out like a little like burst of an EMP. That way you get like a little window of time to sneak by something or do a kill or something like that. I have a question for you because I'm wondering...
I have an answer for you.
Are the other appliances sentient as well? Because I'm wondering if you could do...
Yes, but only in the way that they are in the Brave Little Toaster, I believe, where humans don't know.
Okay. So it's like... But that's weird then, because then our vacuum is sentient, but others aren't. But they are, but
Other
they aren't.
vacuums are. There just isn't another vacuum in your place because you're the old busted shitty vacuum and no house needs more than one vacuum.
Okay, and you know what might be interesting? I wonder if there is... Okay, so maybe the lore of this world is a vacuum or an appliance can't move if a human is looking at it. That way we bleed into that stealth thing of like a vampire or vampire vacuum can only murder a human being
if no one knows.
If nobody is seeing, nobody can see them and they are behind them. So like they maybe fucking they use their extension cable to tangle up, or like maybe that's an ability they that's dude, remember when you'll
be able to get that ability later on. Yeah, and you could do some astral chain maneuvers where you're plugged in and you race around somebody and tie them up.
Oh my god, I wonder like if that's something we have to worry about. Are you like are you plugged into the wall and can only move if you're plugged into the wall? So like you have to be plugged into the wall. You can unplug and move around depending on how many things. If you've eaten like a TV controller and you've gotten the batteries, then you can unplug for a little bit. And as you eat up power, as you eat up electronics that have their own power, you'll be able to stay unplugged longer. Also, how about this? You can't use your special abilities unless you're plugged into a wall. So it's like
that's a good push.
You have to like find. It's like, okay, I want to get into this room, and I have only 5 feet of extension cable space. So that means I gotta like go into the room next door, plug myself in, go into the following room, like use a little EMP burst, turn off all the lights, and then I can get my kill on. So it's like this.
Yeah.
So
that rules.
So it's this game of like, and the fucking mystery of it is like this is a town, or like I want to maybe introduce the idea that you are going to various homes in the neighborhood because, one, the layout of the houses change.
Yes, you absolutely have to go to other houses.
Yes, so it's like that's way you can kind of keep the story of the game is you're keeping your like all of the
you're going through the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, it's a fucking vampire story. But here's the other thing that you and I need to talk about. What do vampires do, AJ? They get other vampires under their thumb. So do we have a story where this vacuum, over the course of the story, gives vampirism...
Builds a thrall?
No, yes, builds a thrall of other appliances that have other abilities. So I'm wondering...
No, thrall is when you like control something. Never mind. I don't know what a group of vampires is called.
I think it's just a cult or a coven. Or is actually coven...
Coven seems right.
I think coven is for like a group of Wiccas or witches. I think. I don't know. But they have their own group, or their own like collection of vampires. So I'm wondering, could you do a thing where it's like, okay, you start as the vacuum and you are Vacula, but do you then you find a coffee pot, and then this coffee pot has its own abilities, like, or you find a television that has its own abilities,
and you'd have the ability to swap between all of the appliances that you now control.
And actually, it might be better. What if we used a window of its
Let's
only?
just
it's only
use the one vacuum.
Okay, that way we don't have to.
I'm gonna put a pin in this.
Yeah, this is fucking cool though. Give me a video game idea. We're probably gonna come back to this one, unless you throw me a.
This
banger.
comes from Dakota Brassard on Twitter.
Fucking Dakota.
At West Dakota YT.
This guy's a piece of shit. I'm kidding. This guy's great.
We fucking hate this guy, Dakota. We know him in the real world, so we're allowed to say that. Nobody else be mean to him. Idle public restroom sim. Now, this is a character that nobody has talked about in video games and in most media.
Okay.
I'm, of course, talking about the bathroom man. You know who I'm talking about. The man that sits there and gives us the little paper towels out of the dispenser, even though I could do it myself. The man that when I sit there and re-wet my hair to make the little curly cues go down on the side of my head, he says, "Looking good."
And then you have to.
The man that.
Then he guilts you into giving him $20.
Well, it's not that he guilts me into it. It's that I get hyped up so rarely when I'm like. Look, I've gone to the restroom plenty of times with you at a concert.
And do I not hype you up? Do I not say your curly cues look sexy as fuck? And you're going to go out there and you're going to slay?
You certainly don't do it better than the bathroom man, who deserves $20.
That's my fucking gig, and he's coming in on my territory of complimenting my friend. That's fucked up. I don't like this guy. I don't like bathroom attendants. I don't. They always make me...
I've never known how to interact with them. They make me feel safe, but in a way that, like, is wrong.
No, they make me feel fucking guilty because, like, I sit there and I'm like, I just wash my hands and I go to the bathroom for a little bit of respite in like a social situation or at a dinner, and then I come here, and then I have to fucking sit there and wash my hands as somebody watches me at the ready to give me a towel, and then as soon as he hands me the towel, he has provided me a service. When somebody is providing a service, you tip them or acknowledge them for what they are doing. So I don't carry cash in my wallet, AJ. I'm a fucking millennial. I use Venmo. I use Zelle.
I've just given him my whole debit card one time.
I just don't have cash, so then I have to do this awkward thing where like I wait till he's servicing somebody else and then I just sprint by and not use the bathroom the rest of the night because I'm worried he's gonna get mad at me. It is stressful as fuck.
That's the thing, is I know that he'll never be mad at me.
No, they get mad. They don't get mad when you don't tip.
No matter what I do, he'll be fine with it.
No.
Here's what's crazy though, is I'm always inspired by them because, like, for example, you mentioned the paper towel thing. What's bizarre about the paper towel man is how it's always right when I need it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not too early. It's not too late. It is literally like, I wash my hands. I do the spritz, shake. I turn, boom, paper towel in my hands. And like the precision, because if I was in his shoes, I know I'd be handing the paper towel too early, or worse, too late. Because if you're the paper towel man and you try to give somebody the paper towel after they've dried their hands on their jeans, what the fuck are you doing there? But this man, no, he knows. He knows the exact timing. And I think that is incredible.
Can we find the best of the both worlds of this game where it's like an Overcooked style
thing? A game
thing
where you are playing as somebody that is perfectly accurate on what you are doing. Your timing has to be accurate and precise, but you also need to have an air of, I am doing this and you owe me for it.
Yes, but here's the thing, and this is kind of, weirdly enough, this gives me like a shopkeeping manager game, because, you know, here's another thing that all the, well, no, stick with me.
No, you're right. What this is this is a timing based, this is what if Moonlighter had a parry system like Sekiro.
Yes.
Like, you need to be so on the money with all of your maneuvers. Every time somebody comes up, you need to just be like, towel, mint, compliment. Towel, mint, rest, wait for it, compliment. Towel, mint, compliment.
And I'm wondering if you can do this system. There's this one VR game. It's called Prison Simulator, and I think I've talked about it on the show. But the whole point of that game is you start off with very little materials. You have like bits of tobacco and toilet paper, and what you do is like, while guards are on patrol passing your cell intermittently, you're rolling cigarettes. But when a prison guard comes by, you have to like hide all the contraband, and then like they shine a flashlight on you. I'm wondering if you can do this sort of system where it's in between like people showing up and doing all of their toilet paper biz. You're like, okay, what is on display right now? What kind of mints do I have? Maybe you get a little portfolio before the mission or before your night. Because I don't know if you knew this, but those guys are
they're in the gig economy, and so what you've done is you've selected what fucking concert or venue you're at, and you're like, all right, I'm in a punk show. These motherfuckers want the cinnamon gum. I can't explain it. They love a little bit of spicy bubble gum when they're out there moshing. Actually, no, you can't give them bubble gum, because if they're moshing, they'll get themselves hurt. But you can give them a little cinnamon.
No.
That's safe.
What if like, okay, hold on. I think we're thinking too realistically. What would happen if you walked into a bathroom at a punk concert and the guy was selling new in-box like mouth guards? Like shit that if you saw in a bathroom, be like, that's kind of weird that that's there, but here it is. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna put mouth guards on display. Or it's like, okay, okay. It's like, then you have let's see. You are at a tech demo or a tech convention, and you got to sell something like, maybe there are chargers, maybe there are like little. That's a mini game there. Okay, you have
that guy's got little power banks.
Yeah, so then you have like people.
No, what it is,
drop off their phones, and you got to let it charge, and then you give it back to them.
Board of cables, and you're grabbing the cable and plugging them into the right things.
Yes,
but you need to remember whose phone is whose, so that when they come back, after they've dried their hands, you can then hand them the phone. But don't give them to the phone when their hands are still wet. You'll be an asshole.
It shocks them. Like, I wonder if like you hand them an electronic device with their hands still wet, and it's like, oh no, they shot. Or maybe it slips out of their hand and they fucking drop it, or just something. AJ, there's way more here than I thought there was when you gave me this video game.
Because
and I am
you're
shocked.
over here shitting on the work that these people do. You're like, I don't like him because I can grab my
I'm not
own
shitting.
hand,
I'm not shitting
my
on
own
them.
nappies.
No, I'm not
But,
shitting
like,
on them.
You're
for
just underappreciating the work and skill that goes in.
No, because
Blake,
I
there's
don't
no
like
such thing as
anybody who
unskilled
guilts me into
labor. And I've
paying
been
them.
telling you that all the
I
time.
don't like that.
Every day I'm like, Blake, there's no such thing as that. And you're like, no, unskilled labor is a thing. And it's the reason why Taco Bell's allowed to pay so little. And I say, Blake, you can't say that.
That's incorrect. That is not true. That is
And I'm like, Blake,
bullshit.
what about the truck drivers?
That's
and you say every time you're just like, just teach the truck drivers how to code. We'll replace them with robots.
My dad is a truck driver, good sir, and he is very talented. And I would never wish upon. Fuck you. No, it's not that I think that job is bad. Like, I can see why that job exists. Does it carry a level of snootiness in it of like, oh, you're not, I can't possibly reach for the towel dispenser and take my own towel. It has.
Well, you'll do. No, here's the thing: is you'll fuck it up
it.
and you'll do it wrong, and you'll make the next one a little bit wet. I've seen how big your mitts are.
Okay,
when you go to grab a napkin, you scoop a whole cup of water in there.
The size of my bread hooks is not relevant to the conversation. What I'm getting at, I don't trust anybody that just stands there, watches you, and then there's that awkward beat after they hand you a towel of like, so you're going to put $5 in that jar right there, or I'm going to give you the eye. And I'm like, yes, sir,
yeah, it doesn't
right
help
away.
That every time
I'll do that because
I
I don't like it. I don't like feeling this kind of pressure because I'm fucking scared of that kind of social interaction. It is weird.
And it doesn't help that every time I've seen somebody that does that as a job, they're always incredibly buff, a foot taller than me, and have one eye patch and a face tattoo.
It feels like their day gig is fucking working the bathrooms, and their night gig is like working the as the bodyguard outside of a strip club. You know, it's just
Yeah.
You're right. That is so weird. I never noticed that before. They're always fucking jacked. They're always jacked, like well dressed and ready to they look like they can wring your neck if you do not give them money. And I feel
that man's over there like, hey, you pissing right back there?
You pissing right now, buddy boy? Ready to just...
Hey, it goes in the urinal, idiot.
Just like, I feel it's a highway robbery. It's fucking bathroom toilet robbery. Like, that's what it is to me. But it's like, I get it.
I'm
like
the stallway, man.
It's an honest job, and like, fuck. But it's just so, it terrifies me. It terrifies me more than it should. Whatever. So you have to, okay. So we've talked about, like, you know, you have certain items that you sell, and you have to do, obviously, the timing thing of, like, you have to balance making sure to hand people the towel at the right beat and
How
then
has
take off
this
their
not
phone.
been a Yakuza minigame yet? Because, like, I mentioned earlier that I wanted to feel like intense, like a Sekiro thing. And, like, if you're constantly having to jump between these different things and give people cool compliments, and then you add on some, like, crazy heavy sound effects, like, this is a Yakuza
like
minigame.
JoJo-ass sound
on.
effects where it's like a cannon anytime you fucking, like, hand somebody something at just the right moment. Okay, so we talked about that. And I agree, it should be a Yakuza game. How do we how do we implement the guilt element of it? Do you have the ability to move around the bathroom while people are in it? Or are you locked in space? What would happen if this guy... It's like, what if he played some mind games? Like,
let's start here. What is it?
Yeah, what if you stood next to the guy at the urinal?
First and foremost.
Yeah, what's up?
What is it about these people that make you feel like you have to pay them? What actions do they take that make you feel guilty?
They are always in between me and the door, and they are well-dressed. So they're when somebody's well-dressed and
so it's a service thing.
Yeah, it feels like they are at a job. It feels like they are providing a service. And of course they are, because they are giving you, you know, a towel or whatever. I'm not saying, like, take a fucking mint or take some, you know, whatever. Like, they have just like a bunch of accoutrements, like whether they have condoms, mouthwash, whatever. I'm saying that if you take one of those things, yeah, pay them. Like, that's what he has.
Yeah, you took from the bowl. You have to give something.
You
back.
have
That's
to give
the
something
rules.
back. I'm just saying, like, if I show up and I'm just using the bathroom for its intended purpose, and all of the material that I use is shit that was already there before this guy got there, I don't want to feel like I have to pay money. Because, I mean, like, it's just like, dude, I just need to pee. Like, I don't want to pay $5 every time I have to go pee. I pee a lot.
Okay, so
I pee at concerts all the time. I don't know why I'm stressed about this.
So if you go in for everything that you don't touch, he's getting $1, right? So like you walk in, you didn't touch the door opened for you. He opened that, that's $1. You walk towards the stall. He's gonna be watching you. He's gonna be watching your hips to make sure that he knows when you're gonna start turning. Because if you turn one thing early, you're gonna be at the stall. If you take one more step, you're going to be at the urinal. If he sees you go for the stall, he flash steps over there behind you. He opens the stall door for you. You didn't even have to touch the dookie thing. Now, that's as far as his touching goes. Then I won't get him involved inside the stall.
And then you know what? Oh my God, this is going to be fucking gross. So this is something, okay, all right.
No. It can't get gross. That's why I left him outside of the stall. He opens the stall door for you. That's it.
No, let me
Everything that happens in there is off of his clock.
No, let me pitch you something on the urinals, because you can't open the door for the urinals. So what is the mini game for the urinals here?
Does he flush it for you?
There is a thing that's what I was gonna say. There's a thing that some guys do that I don't fucking get. You know, like when you're at a gas station and you just filled up your tank of gas, and some people like to shake it out and get that last couple of drops of gasoline out of there. Dudes do that with their junk, and I don't know why. They're not fucking mechanical. They don't work like that. Why are you shaking it? So I'm wondering if you, as the towel guy, like see somebody start shaking their shoulders.
Wait, hold on, stop. Wait, Blake, is this a bit? Blake, is this a bit? Because what do you do with the dribble?
What do you do with a dribble? Just fucking let it go, dude.
You don't just let that shit drop in your own undies, do you?
No, I don't let that shit drop into my undies. I just fucking stand there until it's done. Like, why? I don't understand why I gotta make an event out of it. Be like, I gotta shake my fucking junk like a shake weight to get the drops out of it. No.
Blake. There's a simple rule. You're allowed to give it 3 shakes. More than that, and you're officially playing with yourself. But 3 shakes, and you're allowed to do.
3 shakes. What the fuck? So after you see after you see the people at the urinals like shoulders shake 3 times because they're obviously doing that thing that we just mentioned, you need to sprint over there and press the flush button before their hand can get to it. Because then you guilt them.
Parry on his hand.
You guilt them. Be like, okay, I supplied you a service. I flushed the toilet for you, so you don't need to touch this gross ass urinal button with your own hands. Like, it's all about maximize. Okay, it's all about fucking combos in this game, and that's insane because this is about peeing.
But what's incredible is like
going to the bathroom.
If you, as a player, made the choice to run over there for that extra tip on the flush, then you need to get back to your zone so that you can get your hands washed before you give that man the paper towel or you give that person the phone back.
Yeah, because that's what I'm thinking is like if the phone thing, which I think we will introduce new mechanics in every area, and also certain bathrooms I'm wondering will have certain hazards, like maybe
we're gonna have points where like you start to hand out different mints and you need to make a read on who wants what mints based on, I don't know, their shoes or something. Like it's gonna get so nuanced, but the combos are going to be going crazy. And the thing is, like, unlike a game like that one, the food dash one that we were referencing a minute ago. Unlike a diner dash, people will be coming and going outside of your control. Just because you're slow doesn't slow them down. So you need to meet pace with them.
And you are graded by how much money you make per night. So it's like you need to make a minimum of X amount of money. Let me pitch you on this because I'm seeing the gameplay loop as it kind of materializes in front of us. A person walks into the bathroom. They, at that point, will hand you their phone, and you need to remember which guy gave you what phone, and you can have 3 phones at any one time. So you turn...
At the beginning, it will be 3. You will hit a point where it's like 5.
Oh, fuck, that'd be awesome. So you turn and
8. And you're going to be plugging those things in left and right.
Yeah. So you, like, at the bottom of the phone, you see that it's like a green triangle. Then you need to pair it to the green triangle cable. Whatever, just shit like that. Then, after you take their phone, or maybe this is before you take their phone, you actually have to get a quick look at them. So you see there are going to be consistencies among okay, you see that this guy has a spot on his jacket. So you need to be like, oh, I can get some extra points if I offer that guy a cleaning towel, like a bleaching pen or something, just something to clean that mess. So it's like, and that's simple. It's really easy to do all of that with one person. But now picture one guy walks in, is handing you his phone. You need to get a fucking read on his shit. Like, oh, his shoes aren't shined. Hand him some shoe shine. Oh, he needs a mess cleaned off of his collar or his jacket. Oh, fuck, another guy just showed up that wants to hand me his phone.
Are you going to let that man shine his own shoes,
yes.
though? I mean, come on.
Yes. So it's like you have to fucking balance. And like you are only given windows of respite while they are over there going to the bathroom. So like when somebody's going to the bathroom, you only need to like, okay, as soon as you close the door.
But when people are over at the restroom, you may not have that respite because maybe somebody just came back into the restroom so that they can get their phone that they left on the charger because it was low when they gave it to you.
What I'm thinking is that they grab their phone as they leave the bathroom. So it's like they do this loop or this like.
I'm going to add in later on the idea of people leaving their phones and you just have to remember whose phone is whose because the idea of somebody having their phone charged just long enough for them to pee, while good for gaming, isn't. It's the realism, you know what I mean? I got to make sure
maybe what they do is they sprint out of the bathroom because they don't want to interact with you, and then they gotta come back and they give you like a one word of dialogue. It's like, hey, like I need my phone back, and they're not gonna pay you for all of the combo shit you did for them until they get their phone back.
The flow state that people will be hitting in this game, by the way. Like, I'm so excited to see it.
Fuck. And then like the bathrooms get bigger and they can handle more people. And there's just like, there's hazards. So it's like, as you maneuver around the bathroom, maybe you can slip and fall, or maybe there's like like one of the toilets is broken and you need to like figure out how to fucking make sure somebody doesn't
what is a bathroom attendant supposed to do when a toilet's broken?
I'm wondering if you need to like corral people, or like you need to fix it, or you need to.
I guess you would have to have a call out button. You would have to. It would break into like a little third person. You aim the thing so that you can aim at somebody and call out to them, so that you can tell them one more, sir, so they know to take one more step forward before they touch the stinky broken stall.
What if you had like a call button where it would be like, if after somebody uses the bathroom and it gets clogged or it gets broken or gets something, you have to press a button and then a mechanic will come and they have to come. You need to make sure you can corral people while that other toilet is being worked on. So it's like at random points in the level.
Hey,
like,
Blake, is this our game?
I think this might be a game. I think Towel Man might be our game, but we should talk about. We should figure out a name, and we should talk about modifiers because we couldn't touch on it last week.
Let's do modifiers first.
Okay.
Now, for those of you that are uninitiated, we here at Spiritual Successor have a Patreon. And if you are part of our Patreon, you can submit extra modifiers for whatever our Nug selection is. For the next 2 weeks, our modifier is a morality system. We originally imagined this as something like the renegade good guy options in Mass Effect. I don't remember what the good guy one is. Or okay. I think I have one. So this one comes to us. This is so stupid. This one comes to us from Totodile. Chad or Virgin? So I'm wondering if you... Okay, so this is a morality system. How can we... Is this a morality... So there are two different types of bathroom attendant men.
Yes.
There is the Chad, the 7-foot tall...
I'm trying to figure
absolute gang boss member. And then there's the Virgin, which is like... The more you look like and act like a nervous 15-year-old, the better. So the more you can be like, sorry. So the more you can trip, and because then you're looking for a guilt
yes,
scrap. You're hoping you're giving people their paper towel just a little bit early to look too eager.
Yeah, this kid's not gonna make it. Just slide him a 20 because man, that kid needs it. So I know I like this because if we look at like Chad or Virgin or whatever the fuck
it's the Chad blank versus the Virgin blank.
God, it's I think that's so dumb, but I think it applies to this so
it's a
well.
Funny meme.
In a funny,
I like the fact that the little dudes look funny.
So I'm wondering if so this is a morality system. So what to me that implies that this happens over the course of the whole story. So what
sort of choices would you be making throughout the game?
I'm wondering if this
is it just a playstyle choice, or is it deeper than that?
I think we can look at it like let's look at the phones, because I think that's a good example. When a person walks out and you have obviously provided them a service and help, and they say, "Hey, I don't want to pay you. depending on how you respond to that would dictate, are you like insecure or are you confident? So it's like, oh, this person, you've clearly given them shit. They have taken mints, they have taken breath wash, they have charged their phone, they have obviously cost you material and time.
Done the full service.
Yeah, they've done the full service, and there is no question that they at least
they
owe
went
you
into
some
the bathroom
tip.
to get the works.
Yeah, they owe you a tip of some kind. You can then have an altercation. So, like every level, there will be an altercation.
Your option then is get the money out of money bags that came in for the full thing, or you can act wimpish in front of them and try to get the people that are currently in the bathroom to feel bad for you and pay you more on their way out.
Yes. But here's the thing. You also need to read the room. I'm wondering if that's like kind of the morality system is like, if you're at a punk concert, where it's like a bunch of people who are like, fuck the system. I don't feel like I fuck like.
If you're at a good punk concert, you know you're making money on those tips, baby.
You know you're making money on tips because younger people fucking tip because they know like working services like that suck ass. And then
because we understand the work that goes into those perfect pairs of the napkins.
Yeah, it's like every person who walks in is like, yeah, I do the same job on the weekends, man. I know the struggle. Here's a $5, you know. So, but like if you try pulling that shit at a snooty like business convention or like a stockbrokers convention or something where they clearly don't give a shit. Cash. Yeah, they don't give a shit about the wimpy thing. You need to like stand up to yourself. Like that's where that morality system comes in. So
would we have special upgrades depending on which morality you've leaned into?
I'm wondering if
For example, if you are a super cool buff tall man in this, can you shake down somebody? Or if you're like a little wimpy guy, can you start crying and simply sit there and not do anything?
This is so fucked up. So, okay, no, you're onto something here. I was thinking more it unlocks pathways through the story, if there is a story of any kind. Like, I mean, when I say story fucking
I've
loosely.
not been imagining a story.
Well, I mean story loosely in the sense of like, this kid wants to make money, he got rich by the end of it. Here's his journey. You know, like that's it. That's all it is.
Okay.
You know, it's like a fucking loose story of like that one fucking twisted video game about like I think it's called Party Hard. Where you're just a murderer who goes to parties and has to kill everybody at the party, and there's like this little this little
game.
Yeah, I know it's fucking kind of twisted, and I don't necessarily get why it's why it's a legit thing, but like apparently a lot of people liked it. But there was like you would get news articles between levels, and like you'd see a loose story evolving, but it wasn't like you find out who the character is and you know how deep it is, you know, the deep lore of this towel attendant. So I'm wondering if it's just like you build this fucking empire bit by bit, and depending on your actions of if you want to go Chad or Virgin. By the way, I think virgin as a derogatory, as a fucking dig on somebody.
Insult.
It's so stupid and it's so elementary. It's so
very funny and elementary. Can I just propose to you this? If you've ever, as like a full-grown, full adult, if you can find a friend that gets weirdly defensive about it, it is a blast to just put in the back pocket to haze your friend with.
No, like it feels like a lesser version of calling somebody a cuck, because nobody expects to be called a cuck because it's just so
I always expect to be called a cuck.
Because I call you a cuck a lot. I've acclimated you.
But that is because I beg everybody to bang my significant other at all time.
All right, well, okay, do you have a modifier, or do you think we kind of hit it on the head with that one?
The one I was going to propose was from Alley Cat, the morality system being loosey-goosey or slimy or grimy.
Okay, so, okay. This is interesting because on top of the Chatter Virgin thing,
I think this is a level people? Of like customization. Well, I was imagining this is customization for the bathroom.
Oh, but that's not a morality system.
You can make it a loosey-goosey bathroom. Well, let's think about this. If you get to customize the bathroom on all of these, I think there is a morality choice here to be made about whether or not you want to make it a loosey-goosey bathroom or a slimy, grimy bathroom. These are choices you get
I
to make.
disagree because that removes the idea that you are a gig worker being hired at random events. So it's
That's true. Then it somehow becomes your bathroom that you are taking from place
rather
to place.
than you just having
like some
to
sort
just
of
exist
porta
in it.
potty attendant.
Oh my god, that should be a level actually.
Porta potty
now that I think about
manager,
it.
something. Hold on, is a porta potty like? What if at music festivals, rather than going to like the porta potty zone where it's like it feels like a place that God forgot about and like it's where sins and crime happens.
Yeah.
You know exactly what I mean, right? Like there's just a lineup
It's
of
just
porta
like-
potties and then there's like the weird bucket hose thing that you like doesn't work half the time. And if you use a restroom at a music festival, you pray that there's soap there.
There never is. There never is soap. What are you talking about?
There never is. So whoever you went with
taken by
definitely
like
has.
the first people who show up. Like not like
What if there was an attendant there?
See,
what if there was somebody that was just like, I'm going to fix this. I
would
will
not
be the
trust
music
them.
festival bathroom person.
Dude, the idea of a towel attendant outside, like in the open air, fucking terrifies me because I'm like, those mints are touching like non-sterile bathroom air.
No, they're
like
prepackaged, dude. Non-sterile bathroom air.
Dude, I just
They're
don't.
They're
like,
in the
I don't
porta
trust
potty
it.
zone, which is the place that Satan lives.
I don't know if you've ever been to I mean, obviously you've been.
No, I've been there. Like I love state fairs and county fairs. And, like,
it's always muddy.
Back in my
it's
hometown,
always
like,
muddy
there was,
around
like,
the porta potties, and it's
It's
a picture.
always muddy. Yeah, no.
I just hear the squelch of mud underneath my feet as I walk over to somebody. He's like, "Here's your towel, sir." I'm like, "This
You
doesn't
hear the
match.
faint
This
cheering
doesn't
and
work."
hollering of other places. You smell somehow you smell only the bad smells from all the food establishments that are nearby.
God.
It is the worst place on earth.
Don't
I
like it.
hate
Don't
the
fucking
porta
like it.
potty zone.
Don't fucking
but
like it.
what if you were the person put in charge of making sure that the people in the porta potty zone felt
I think
better?
that should be
You
a
were the
level,
porta
and the
potty
gimmick
zone
of that
attendant.
level is nobody wants to interact with you because who the fuck wants a bathroom attendant in open ass air next to a porta potty where you can smell shit and funnel cake? That sounds fucking awful and horrendous, but that's not a morality system. So what I'm
The
picking,
potty attendant really does only have power within the 6 walls of the bathroom. I think that if it was an open air restroom, I don't think I would give a shit about the bathroom attendant.
because but that also removes the level of obligation because if I'm a fucking
That's what I'm
and I
saying. It's
am
like
an
he only has
anxiety-ridden
power
mess
in that domain.
because there's only one door out in an open air porta potty area. I could just fucking run away. I could just
if
run in
need be,
any
I could
random ass
ascend.
direction. Yeah, and I could just fucking I could just run the fuck away in an open air area. So, but that's not a morality system. So let me pitch you on something. So you were saying it's like slimy versus
Loosey goosey or slimy grimy.
So loosey goosey, I take it as you kind of just wing it. But slimy grimy implies that maybe you're kind of cheating these people out of some extra dosh. So when you're
a real bathroom sales clerk, you're putting different premium prices on the stalls.
When you're acting like a virgin who's kind of crying, maybe you aren't crying because your feelings are actually hurt. Maybe you're crying because you want to get those guilt tears. That's pretty fucking slimy. That's manipulative. Like that's some slimy behavior. So I'm wondering if you can.
So is it perhaps that the Chad versus the Virgin is gameplay choices, whereas slimy grimy or loosey goosey is the actual moral of the character?
Yes, I think that's the way of doing it. Yes,
okay.
because like if you are loosey goosey about this, is like maybe you just like okay. How do you gamify loosey goosiness? Because loosey goosey just implies, in my opinion, a passiveness. So maybe a moral system would be slimy grimy versus like uptight and preppy. You know what I mean? Where it's like you are doing your best to make everything perfect and do everything by the book versus like, hey, maybe when that person's taking a pee, maybe you can go pickpocket them. What's stopping you from doing it? Oh, maybe you have a little bit of ketchup or a little bit of a spritzer in your back pocket.
Here's the thing: is
and you
I
make
think
a mess.
I think that slimy grimy versus loosey goosey does work.
Mm-hmm.
Might I propose to you this? The difference is that slimy grimy is moral choices more aimed at the people and Loosey Goosey is more gameplay choices directed towards the items and objects that they interact with.
Okay.
If you're playing it loosey goosey, you're giving them the good napkins. You got those good paper towels. You know the ones I'm talking about, those blue ones. You're playing a little loosey goosey. You got the good mints.
So
yeah, you're like, hey, you can take 2 or 3 of the mints. I don't really care. I'm gonna run out of them by the end of the night anyway. But if you're slimy grimy, you're like, hey man, you know what? You need more. You need some hair gel. Why don't I sell you this one under the table?
You try and fucking like
you're
like,
upselling them on premium items that you have.
Okay. And then the upside is you get more money at the end of the night, so you can get better scores, and you can get
a loosey goosey attendant doesn't even pay attention to like how long you've used the phone charger for.
Yes.
A slimy, grimy one, he's taking note. He noticed that your charge went from 30% to 75%. Loosey goosey, it was gonna need a charge. It needed a charge anyway, man.
Yeah, and maybe you can have this little form that's like next to, like in your pocket, that helps you keep track of certain things. Of like, hey, if they charged for like 2 minutes, it's like 10 cents a minute or 25 cents a minute or something like that for a charge. Because nobody in the bathroom...
If you're playing it loosey-goosey, you've waived the fee every time.
It's like, whatever.
You're going to lose money on it, but whatever.
No, but there's that element of like, okay, maybe they'll give you more than... It's like, instead of like, okay, they charged their phone for 2 minutes, they owe you 50 cents. Well, guess what? It's like, hey, man, don't worry about it. It's for free. It's like, oh, dude, that's so kind of you. Here's $5. Like, here's $2. Or, you know, it's just... There's a chance that they can give you more. So it's like... There's that like loosey-goosey is loosey-goosey in the sense that it's unpredictable on your return. But slimy.
I love that we've created the 4 different types of people, which is, of course, Chad, virgin, car salesman, do whatever, man, guy.
And
Blake, what are we gonna call this game?
What were you calling them? Towel attendant? Like towel?
Bathroom attendants. Potty attendants.
But that's not a fucking, I don't know. Like that feels
That's
too...
not a name. All right.
Thing. Is there a way we can get flush in there? Like we can call it bathroom rush or bathroom flush?
Is royal flush anything?
That's what I was thinking too, like royal flush, because you are dressed fancy. Also, by the way, the money you get at the end of the night, you can use that to buy new outfits. And then you can dress dress up your attendant, and also you can buy different things to have on your table. That's what the money system is for, and that you get money carried over for the next night or whatever.
I think royal flush might be it.
Royal flush, royal flush bathroom bonanza. No, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. I think royal flush is because it's kind of classy. You know, it's like the Is it?
It's classy. It has an air of casinoism, even in like public affairs. But of course, like you and I both know, it's a toilet game.
How about this?
Toilet game about toilets.
How about this? We dial this in. This whole game takes place in Las Vegas because you could be in a casino bathroom.
That is the only place that I know about that I regularly see the bathroom people.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Like, so it's like at those fancy dinners at like the Paris restaurant, there was a bathroom attendant, scared the shit out of me. You at Caesar's Palace, people in the bathroom. So it's like that's why it's called. Is it Royal Flush or the Royal Flush? Like because
I think Royal Flush. I don't like the word "the" on it.
You don't like it? Okay, all right, Royal Flush. That's fucking it. Let's go to patch notes, boyo. Thank you to our Patreon modifier people for submitting this week. I know we had to kind of waive them last time, but thank you very much for helping us out this week. Let's go to patch notes.
That's a game. Let's go to patch notes.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to patch notes. Really quickly, I am going to be going out of town for a week, so I will...
Blake's leaving me.
I mean, you left. You went to a different state.
I have nothing left anymore.
I mean, it's nothing really changes for you.
Just abandoning me. No, because now you're like, no, AJ, we're recording on a different time, and I'm leaving for a week, and I'm never gonna talk to you again because I'm gonna be super successful.
You're gonna be fucking gonzo. So I am going out of town. I am gonna be on a film production for a week. So we are recording early. If you can send us your submissions right now, right fucking now, open your phone, open Twitter, open Reddit,
we're recording
open email,
so much earlier than normal.
Fucking send it our way. We are recording. We will be making a post on Twitter as well if that is the way you prefer. Giving submissions. We will be making that post on Thursday. But please send it our way. We look forward to reading it.
And that is going to be how we close out the show. As always, our intro and outro music is Cheap Shot by Anamanaguchi, an excellent song from an excellent band for an excellent game. I've been one of your hosts, AJ Hart.
And I have been your other host, Blake Raya.
This has been Spiritual Successor, and these are cool games
that should not be made.